So yeah, I wasn't academically smart, but I was always driven to, do the best I can do with the things I wanted to do, which I think's a huge thing. That's one of the things, that advice that I would give to people if they, looking to start up. Don't think about what your friends think. Don't think about what your parents think. Don't think about what you think here. Just make the content, and it's like you either learn or you stay the same. And I'm always about trying to improve and learn, man. And obviously I still make loads of mistakes, still try my best, but it's a process. It's not overnight success.
What's happening, team? I hope you guys are doing well. Here we are with my brother TJ. I did promise you guys that we are gonna be speaking with him, having an interview with him. Unfortunately today, my man just literally reached out earlier and he's like, man, I know that we've been speaking about this for the past few months, truly speaking, and right now today's the day, and we didn't really plan for it, but we're like, okay, let's do this. And we took our cameras, we got them out, and now you guys are going to be able to see and experience this journey. Because one thing that I like is that he's not just more experienced in the markets, but he also has a mindset of a businessman. And as well, he's also he's too deep in terms of a lot of things, because most people are on the surface level, but with him he was able to go a bit more deeper. And that's why even today we are able to speak about his success, his ups, his downs, and most importantly, you'd be able to take knowledge and value from him. TJ, what's happening, brother?
What's good, bro? Let's go! Mate, you can't see my screen, but I've just launched a confetti cannon, mate. And I'm now covered in gold like I should be. Absolutely dropping nuggets. Yeah, all good, mate. Not bad. How have things been with yourself? All good?
All good, bro. All good. I can't complain. I'm excited that now here we are, man. We're having this chat. And it's funny because before even now, after putting the camera on, we were speaking for the prior 30 minutes. And for me already, I got so much value and it's like, wow. But I just feel like I'm doing an injustice to, brothers and sisters that are going to be watching. That's why I was like, what? Let's put on cameras and go for it.
Mate, we had to. We've been talking for about 30 minutes, yeah, dropping absolute detailed knowledge that would be so beneficial. And we're not recording, so we was like, right, we got to lock in now. It's time to get this interview on the way. Let's get deep, let's get real. Come on,
let's get deep, let's get real. And yeah, man, one thing most of you guys might not even know, TJ's story and so on. So one thing that I'm gonna want us to do is we're gonna be walking first in terms of where he comes from, how he came up, how he actually got in the Forex world. Plus as well, we're gonna be diving a bit more deeper into seeing with the Forex world, what was he able to do, accomplish, and also some downs, so that you as a trader can be able to learn from it. And then in business would also be able to see what Forex was able to do for him in terms of business wise. One thing that I like is that he comes from there's times where it was tough, it was not easy. He had to just believe in himself all the way from zero, and now he was able to make at least over $1 million in a single month. So I believe that if you're watching this video, just that should be able to just open up your ears, and then you should be able to just listen carefully to whatever that he has to say. TJ, man, can you please just walk us through where exactly, I want you to walk us through how you came up, but where you were born, and primary years, high school years, teenage years, basically.
Yeah, sure. So basically, the come up of TJ was when I went to school. School was okay, but let's be real, it's just a waste of time. A teacher is teaching me out of a book, which is just not beneficial for someone like myself. I don't know if I've got ADHD, bipolar, I've got probably everything under the sun. So I wasn't academically smart, but therefore, was it because I wasn't academically smart, or did I just not care about the way and the style that they teach? So when I was young, I just always I was good at sport. And if you're a kid, if you're good at sport, you can kind of fly through school, if I'm honest with you. I would take time off school, go to running events, play football, here, there, everywhere. And obviously, the teachers were appalled by my education. They were bottom set everything, which is even mental to even say. I've had it in my secondary school where in the UK, it's called GCSEs. And I've had the business teacher go to me, Tommy, you're going to have to drop business studies because you're just not good enough. How mad is that? To think now, I've grown gross 15, 20 mil in businesses. Within 2-3 years, and then that happened to me. And just for your understanding, if you're a kid and someone's telling you that, who's an adult, you look at adults in what they say goes, and it's how much damage can that actually cause an individual? So yeah, I wasn't academically smart, but I was always driven to, do the best I can do with the things I wanted to do, which I think's a huge thing. Like if you tell me, go and cook this cake, I'm not bothered about cooking a cake. If I want a cake, I'll order a cake. You know what I mean? I'll go to the shop, I'll buy a cake. But and this is the same aspect with trading. If you really want to succeed and do it, then it doesn't matter how many times you fail, you're going to get back up. You're going to continue to learn and trade and be better than what you was yesterday. So that sort of happened to me. I come out of like my background really with like my parents wise as well. My dad was a DJ when he had me, and my mom had my older brother, so she wasn't working. We weren't rich to start with, and I wouldn't class my parents as being rich like during the thing. And even now, I wouldn't say they're rich. They just earn a bit of money just to keep float. They sent me to private school, which made it even worse because they were having to pay for my education, which was not my decision. Can I just tell you as well? They felt bad that my brother was going private school because he was also very, very not smart, and they wanted to try and give him the best education they could to hopefully progress his future. My parents were basically like, we're sending you here because if you do not succeed, then you're going to blame it on you going to a worse of school, which, by the way, is not true at all. It doesn't matter where you go. Your path is your path. It does not matter. And actually, it was a very, very not beneficial for me to go to that school because they didn't like sports really. All they cared about was taking your money. And the kids there, they weren't like me. I come from a public school, then went private school, and then I went to college because I failed every single exam. I didn't get one GCSE. And they come to my parents, right, at the end of year 11. So you're about 15, 16. And they go, we have tried with Tommy. We've tried with him. And we just want to let you know that we have just tried. So that was basically like shorting from me being a kid to like 16 with no grades. So, as you can imagine how they reacted to that, it was... it wasn't the best of open up the envelope and telling them that you haven't even got a C, which basically means that you need a C, B, or A technically in the UK to be graded well. All mine were like D, E, Fs, and some of them were U's, which means unmarkable. And I don't even know how you get that. Honestly, I swear something happened to me when I was about that age. So that happened, and I had to go to college, and then I had to do a whole nother year. So during that time, I was making content on like FIFA because I used to be a FIFA streamer. And then, I was, doing well with the FIFA vids and that sort of stuff because it was popping back then when I was younger.
Okay.
And
that was like more of like the first business or like something that you've done to me.
Yeah. So basically, there's something called FIFA foot coins, right? So with FIFA coins, you can go onto a website, you can buy FIFA coins. And then they'll transfer you on the platform. And you want to have the best team possible, especially when you're making content. What's going to draw the eyes? You need to have the best players in your team. So I then found a way to be able to, get coins and then send them to people. So I started doing my own FIFA coin website. That's actually where I first started. And then my parents were like, you've got to quit this. You've got to quit this, like streaming. You're 16, go get a job. So they made me go work in a sweet shop. So I couldn't put in all the time, which is even mental. Yeah, mate, I can tell you all the sweets. That's why I've got fake teeth, because I was just munching away on them all the time. So I started with the FIFA coins, to be fair, as my first little adventure, which obviously didn't succeed. But it got me into trying to make money online, basically. And that was the most important thing. I knew I had to use my strengths in life and just with everything. That's being a people's person, that's talking on camera, and that's also being good at video games, I say, because we're in an era now where, especially today, where like if you're good online at games and stuff, you're gonna pull views. It's not actually about how you look, it's not about how you even speak anymore. It's just literally about the gameplay you're providing can just pull mad amounts of views. It doesn't matter if you're outgoing or insecure. That literally hasn't got especially on a camera, like people just don't care. And that's one of the things, advice that I would give to people if they looking to start up. Don't think about what your friends think, don't think about what your parents think, don't think about what you think. Here, just make the content. Look at me right now, I've got a gold staff on with a gold crown hat. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to be watching this, but in the end of the day, I couldn't care because I'm the one that's going to I have a dream, I have a vision. I'm going to make sure I do whatever I can to get to that point. And no matter what anyone says about me, like as a personal attack, it just isn't going to bother me, as they can't see the vision of my journey that I can see. And that's the same with when you're growing up too. Your parents tell you, yeah, not sure about doing that. If I'm honest with you, mate, probably shouldn't do that. It's like, bro, you've lived your life. Look where you've ended up. Okay, let me live mine, learn my own mistakes. Losses are lessons. Come on. You're never going to progress and improve if you can't learn stuff on your own. And that's through the whole, growing up stage of things. I went to university for 1 year, mate. Had to quit. It was just, bro, it was crazy. University is mental, mate. It is drinking every day. It's X, Y, and Z. Get me out of there right now, mate. I tell you what, I've lost about 15 years of my life for that, okay? Like, my liver probably is just gone. It's just absolutely gone. So I quit uni, and then that's when I went on to like full-time pro Fortnite. During uni, I had a lot of time, so I was playing Fortnite. I got really good at the game. It just come out. The hype was real. And then I started making money through that side of things. And I managed to set up my own Fortnite company where they would sell exclusive skins. So I knew a factory in like Morocco, should we say, Malaysia. They had a bunch of S10s, they're called, Samsung S10. And with the S10 was a skin called Iconic. And if you logged on, downloaded Fortnite with the S10, logged into the account, it would give you Iconic skins. So he had thousands of S10s. So I set up my own Fortnite shop, leverage my engagement. Obviously, I'm streaming too with audience, so they would want to pick it up, the skin, because they see, how did you get this new exclusive skin? As you know, same as FIFA coins, FIFA packs, Fortnite, they want the best of the best in the game. You want your new sword, a new staff, you're buying it. Doesn't matter how much it costs, you're buying the staff, you're buying all these iconic, all these exclusive stuff. So I made about, I don't know, let's say 500k, and then outgoings just for 495k was lost in the process. All right, but it made about, I'm joking, but it made over 500k. I'm just fucking saying that just because you don't know who's watching. And that kind of like, that was my first insight of making decent money, from like, it was like 2k a day, and I was making more than my parents. And at that time as well, with the pro Fortnite stuff, they told me to go get a job too in London. So, and then I was having to like, whilst I was getting the train up there and back, I was having to like do all the sales during that time. And it was really, it only worked for about a month in London. And then obviously I was making so much money where it's just like, I remember sitting there and it was like 5 a.m. I've done an all-nighter, like, because I was getting order after order. It was actually a crazy experience. And I was like, why am I going to go into work for a whole month when I'm only turning in profit-wise about £400 when I've just sat here and made 1.5k? And I'm also knackered. So I was like, I'm never returning to work again. And that was like, I was about 20, 21 at the time. That was the start of my journey of being like fully self-employed, moved out my house, and yeah, just got trying to make money. And that's also when like trading come in, because when I was 18, I was trading, following signals as you do, as everyone does. I'm signing up to that broker. I'm giving them the CPA payout. They're telling you to deposit on the copier, because I had good money. I was like, right, I'll deposit 5k, boom, 5k gone. And the owner, this is the maddest thing, actually, little insight. The person's signal I used to follow actually owns instant funding called Lewis. Do you know instant funding?
Oh yeah, I know instantfunding.io.
Yeah, the owner of that is called Lewis, and he used to flex like someone's McLaren, right? Like, it wasn't his McLaren, it was someone else's when he was like 19, 20, right? We're talking, this is 6 years ago now. And he would flex all that sort of stuff. And funnily enough, now he owns a prop firm. So like, he's hopped on the copier side, the CPA broker side. Now he has his own prop firm side. So, obviously his life is, he's worked out, how can I make money through the industry of the Forex community, as well as trading. And he probably doesn't even trade because he couldn't trade back then. He probably can't trade now, all right? So sorry, Lewis, if you do watch this, mate. But, he was the first one that was following signals, obviously realized he can't trade. And I just got annoyed. I was losing money. And I was like, if I can't trade personally by myself, then I'm cooked. And then at this point, the Fortnite stuff slowed down, and I was able to give all my time and effort into trading. Which, bro, I'm not even lying, from 7 in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. I was that guy. I even did 24-hour like sessions, bro. Like, I would be like, I'm trading Tokyo too, because obviously in my time zone, 11 p.m. is like the start of Tokyo, and it goes through the whole of the nighttime. So I was addicted. I was calling trade after trade, like 10 trades a day. I'm journaling as well. Can I just add whilst I'm doing this? So it does really help. Set up a Telegram group. It doesn't matter even if you're not an influencer. You need to log. I used to write it in a book too, but you need to log all the trades that you're taking. And at that time, I was trading like pound CHF, GA, Great British Pound AUD. I was trading those sort of pairs, and then as well as gold. It just got too much, bro. It got too much, really. And I think this was about 2021, 2022. I had to stop trading FX pairs. And I remember my parents bought me an FTMO account for my Christmas present. Sorry if you still believe in Santa, but he's not real. Anyway, no, I know. Sorry. I had to just say he's not real. He's fake. But they do give you unreal presents, potentially, if you're lucky. However, yeah, so they bought me an FTMO account, blew it within the first day. Okay, it was a 200k account, so they gave me $1,000, which is, I don't even think I've ever had $1,000 before, like from them. So, and I was like, trust me, I'm gonna make it back. I'll make it back. I'll give you a percentage. I could not tell them for love nor money that I failed it. I failed it the first day, man. The first day I got it.
So have you traded like a prop before, or that was like your first prop firm account?
That was my first experience, like 2021 FTMO. First experience trading prop firms. Before that, I started to like make YouTube videos and trade live brokers. And obviously I was getting CPA commission from like Axie, Vantage, and I was using that money to help me leverage my trading account, that sort of side of things. So I was trying my best, to try and make money, but I always had that mindset, like majority of people watching this now, is like, I'm going to deposit $500 to $1,000 and I'm going to try and run it up 10 grand. That's my first milestone, 10 G's. Then I'm going to go to 100. And it was just like, and the psychology weren't there. I was depending too much, as it was my only income, to try and make trading a reality, like full-time thing, where I think that's where people go wrong too, including myself. Like, they put in too much pressure on themselves to make it. And like, I'll tell my missus like, yo, I just made 9 grand today. And then 10 minutes later, I'm going to have to go and tell her I've lost it all. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how can I do this to myself? And mate, the battles and mental like struggles that trading brings you, like the ups and the downs, it really is just a crazy, crazy thing. But it helped me a lot through my 20s, develop and self-improve as an individual, because it's like, yo, I actually do have a gambling problem. And it's like, yo, I actually like, I'm all or nothing. And that's just not even with trading. That's with work. That's with like drinking. That's with like going for a run. I don't want to hit 30 minutes. I want to try and hit a PB. It's like I have that mentality where everything's got to be all or nothing. If I'm holding my breath, I'm going to pass out. I'm not going to like, and it's like, you got to try and grow up, let's just say, and like start to like know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and then work on your weaknesses, because the choices that I keep making are just impacting my overall outcome. If that's in a negative way, with like the over trading, over risking. And it doesn't matter if you know how to use a risk manager. It doesn't matter, because in the end of the day, it's like the more you trade, the more you're gonna lose, and that's just what I realize and come to terms with. So after all of that, anyway, I wouldn't say lucky. I just got a wizard on gold. I just knew where gold moved. I knew how the markets move, because I spent so much time trading and losing. It's like you just have an eye for it. I don't know if you can relate. You probably can, but it's like I can pull up a chart and I can just it takes me about 5 minutes, bro. And I can just be like, right, price action. This is the sort of direction that it's moving to. We're probably likely going to have a pullback at this area. So I'm going to wait to this area, and you got to wait for the setup to take place. And then I'm going to jump in the trade. And that's where it goes like well for people. I think if they just wait for the setup, then take it, instead of going, right, I know it's going to retest here, so I'm going to enter a sell just to make some extra money, waiting for my actual trade to take place. And it's like, you're trying to do too much. You're trying to catch too many moves at the same time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just learned like price action, obviously the support and resistance for zones, but you're not relying on those zones. You're using it as an analysis, as part of the analysis. Like you're using, I don't do the trend line sort of thing, but it's like the daily candle, the hourly candle, and then I look for like the wick highs, the wick lows, the body rejections, the way that, you know, we're in a channel. And I'll see, like, being in a channel, I see where the channels come from, the highs, and then I'll see where it come from, the lows. And then I'll try and get the price action on the trade. And 9 times out of 10, it works all the time, basically. Like, I can't lie. It's just, it does do work. And if you're wrong, then you know that the market's probably going to reverse. And it's like, as I said earlier, like, loss is a lesson. So, like, if you do lose, it is what it is. You've got the analogy wrong. So you have to like reset yourself and think to yourself, how have I got this wrong? And where is it going to go to? And when you start taking those sort of losses after being a good trader and succeeding, then you get even better because you're like, whoa, TJ from 2 years ago with FOMO in right here. And yes, it rejected 100 pips in profit, but it's just broken through. And it's like, how, like, and then I would keep buying. Like, say if it went up 100 pips, come back down, retesting, I'll be like, buy again, buy again, buy again. And then in the end of the day, you're just going to lose your money because it's going to break through, as an example. And it's just learning how the markets move and being okay with accepting that you are going to be wrong, you are going to lose. And even today, you know, I've been holding these sells for ages today on my FTMO 200k account funded. And 4 days I've been holding this trade for. It's gone plus 15k in equity, plus 10k in open trades. Then it went minus 5k, and I bloody hit SL today. I had a guy message me and he was like, "Oh yeah, you just always lose." And it's like, bro, I showed him a screenshot. I was like, we've hit TP1, TP2s, which are just a way to, you know, make people think that you're hitting more trades than you actually are. The reality of it is, you know, I've held one trade for 4 days and I've taken a loss. But last week, I withdrew 21,000, got paid out $17,000 from FTMO, and I hit a 350 pip take profit, just a one trade. And it's like, mate, you have memory loss. And and he's like, you know, this guy, I'm just using him as an example. And it was only one guy, and he was like, yeah, look at my 100k account. I was like, bro, that is like your whole paycheck. Like, and he's like, mate, I haven't worked for 3 years. And I'm just like, then why are you buying 100k accounts? If you're rich, you buy the 200k, like me. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't here to try and make 1%, 1,000. I'm here to make the 2,000s. So it's just, you're going to get people like that too. And those people are just, you know, small-minded people. They're going to, I understand, like, if you're over-risking, you want to take out your emotions because you're hitting trades and SLs. But I just advise people, like, if you're following an FX influencer who's posting signals, go on to TradingView, check out the trade, like their analysis yourself, figure out how they're wrong, try and figure out, like, is this actually going to come in, or can I see a setup that is going to come in? So then you're contradicting their setup, and then like you can just, and then like that way you can try and balance it. Like, don't every single that they send, take it, use your own bias to their signal to help influence your decision making with the trade. I think that's the way to do it. I personally don't follow people because I don't want to, and this is the most annoying thing, where you got a trade, you know it's coming in, you follow, you watch someone else, they're calling the opposite direction, and you're like, oh my god, I'm second guessing myself now. Oh, I'm closing, I'm gonna enter their trade because, you know, I think they're right and I'm wrong. And then they're wrong and you was actually right, but you've taken, mate, Donvo's done it to me before. Kid, you're not watching his live stream. I had sells, he was buy, I closed my buys, I lost £50,000. £50,000 on a live account because of Donvo. And if I held, I would have made 100 plus K. But lesson learned, not doing that again, unsubscribe, get out of my screen. You know, it's just like, you're gonna take these losses. You know, not everyone's gonna be able to hit trades all the time. That's just, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And what I've learned with trading, if I deposit 5k into a live account and I make 10k, I just withdraw the 5k. I don't want to keep it in the account. I want to get the money out as quick as I can, because then it just turns into like you're holding your losses for longer because you're like, well, I've got 5k profit, so I'm going to hold out my profit loss. and then you keep holding, and then you're not actually building the mindset of taking money out the markets. You might be profiting, but you need to understand the concept of being able to take your money. Otherwise, it's just paper. It's thin air. It's not a reality.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's nice when it hits your account, bro. It's not when I'm like, bro, I've just made 8K. I'm hiring drivers to take me around, and I don't even need to, I'm getting the best steak there is. I've got cigars flying around. Everything's going crazy. I'm like, bro, why do I not just do this more often? And once you you build a mindset of just taking money from the markets, and it just works. It does. It just does work.
It does, man. It does. And that's actually good because most people, they have a mindset of giving the markets. Like they're always depositing. They're always like, when trades are in profit, they do something to sabotage those trades. When trades are in negative, that's where you'll see them adding more onto losing trades. So it's more like the mindset likes losing. So if trades are profitable, they get scared and they just want to cut the wins like a bit more quick and stuff. But when the trades are like in losses, they even hold those losses for like weeks and months and so on. So I feel like those people, in terms of mindset wise, is just they are in the negatives. They are losing mentally, which is why you'd even see their results showing in their platforms and stuff. So you did mention something about at first when you got in the trading world and you started like you opened up a Telegram group, and then you started like obviously documenting down your trades. And from there, you were also able to like, do some CPA deals and stuff. So I want to know, what was the reason? Because I know there's like CPA, there's affiliate, and there's different types of structures out there. So why did you decide to go with the CPA model?
Well, bro, just going off what you just said, yeah, I was making dough. Bro, I was making dough. Like first month, 20K. And then I started to do signal sales too, right? Where they pay 50 quid a month or 100 quid a month. Bro, I was making 50,000 plus pounds from signal sales. I wasn't even big, bro. I had about 400 or 500 paying people. And then like you would offer your VIP 30-day free trial. Then you would get the CPA. And the CPA just worked better than the affiliation, like the IB. Because like the reality of trading is you're losing your money. So especially for people that don't know how to trade, they're depositing, they're losing. Like, yeah. So for someone starting up, it was just like, if these people are going to lose their money anyway, you want to maximize the outcome that you're getting. Like IB would be like $25 per lot traded. Well, let's say they deposited $1,000 and they used a 1.0 lot size, and I took 100 pip loss on gold. That's the $1,000 gone. But with CPA, you deposit $1,000, the broker's going to pay me $800, and that's secured money, and you've traded your 1.0 lot. So that was what I did. And bro, I was making, and this is sort of basically my story. It's just like I was making so much money. I had like signal review pages pumping out content for me, not that I asked them to, and they were putting thousands and thousands of views, and those people that were reviewing it would then come to my page. So at this point, I didn't even need to make much content and pulled views. Other people were bringing me the income. So, and then when I set up TFF, it contradicted the whole model. Like for a starting business, when I was starting TFF, because I was really good at trading, obviously I was making prop firm content as well. People were buying the challenges. And what happened is that these people that were following me, taking my trades, were buying the challenges, but they were passing, they're succeeding, and then they're getting payouts. Well, if the company is not the gross sales are not going like this because it's a new company, right? And like for a small prop firm, they have to get big sales quick. Otherwise the money isn't going to make sense. You're going to get someone on a 200K account, go and make 20 bags, and you've only turned over 10K that month. You're already in a negative, plus all the fees on top of it, which we can go on to. But Jesus Christ, when it first come out, I was losing like 30-40% just like through tech fees and broker fees, which is just crazy anyway. But yeah, I had to stop. And that's why like I've only made a comeback the last 6-7 weeks, I would say, like in the whole industry in general, because I took a long time off after all the TFF stuff, which happened, which, when it got taken from me and everything like that. And I was demotivated, depressed. Obviously, I just lost everything. I just lost like 4 years worth of work that I've worked for. And it was successfully making good money, We had good influencers working for us. We had a lot of members, people joining. So that was a bit depressing. But I quit the trading side of things, like in terms of being an influencer and selling the signals and stuff like that, and then went full business mode. Which was, I enjoyed it. It was nice to take a break from making Forex content. I can't lie. Like in the end, it just got to the point where it's like, I'm only making this so I can make VIP sales. Yeah, at the time I needed the money. So it made sense. But it just got too long in the end. It's just like, especially because trading's so up and down. It's like you have your bad days. Your members are just fuming. They're flaming you. They're toxic. And mate, I used to get very emotionally attached, like I would get people funded and everything, and they would lose their funded accounts. And it's like, bro, I can't control the style you trade. Just because we lost today and you've blown your account, that is partially my fault. But you're personally attacking me, you're messaging me horrible things. And I was just like, mate, I do not need this. Like, I would rather just, that's why growing and running the business side of things was just way more nicer, because it was like, I'm working towards a goal. I'm growing the business. I'm proud of what I'm achieving through the business and the way that the business looks. And it's like, how far can I take this? And like, I look at people like FX Alex, the Lambo Rouse, the Mambas, and I've watched them all come up too. And this is just something for the viewers as well. It's like, you can take what they have. You just got to become what they are. And it's like the similar sort of concept is like, you got to work every day towards the goal. You need to know what they know. If you knew what they knew, you would be in their position, but you just don't. So you need to get smarter. You need to like learn the ins and outs of the industry and just try and improve on a day-to-day basis. And I know it's difficult to improve when you work in a 9 to 5, when maybe you feel insecure about making content or like pushing out your trades to people. But it's like, you either sink or you swim. And I choose to swim, bro. I choose to swim.
That's true, man. Like, there's a lot of people that are thinking like, yo, what is my parents gonna say, or what are my friends gonna say, the people close by and stuff. But the honest truth is that like, it's either you're gonna like be on the level with like, let's say for instance, your classmates, your peers, and you guys are gonna stay stuck on the same level, which you are all comfortable. There's no one that's like, coming against each other. Or it's either once your head starts like peeping out, you are like looking for new opportunities and you're trying to do new stuff. It's obviously not gonna be okay. People are gonna like try to pull you down. One thing that I like saying is that it is crabs in the barrels. You understand? So every time when I try to get out, it's like the people are pulling us back. It's because of our environment. Like, these people, they don't want to see us like maybe driving those nice cars or living in those big houses and stuff. They wish, but they don't really want to see one of their own getting there, because once you do get there, it's gonna be, you're proving to them that they suck. Like, you're proving to them that they are not putting in the work. So that automatically, they don't want that whole feeling. They just want you guys all to be comfortable and stuff. You did mention with TFF and stuff. So you did fund TFF, right?
Yeah. Of course.
Powerful, man. And some of you guys, if you don't know,
man of the myth and the legend, mate. That was what an era that was.
And some of you guys that don't know, TFF, the Forex Funder, which is a prop firm that was like, I remember when I came across it, like, there was no specific day that would pass without me seeing or hearing about it. And yeah, they did play. In fact, when I would see like, the top 5 prop firms like worldwide, to me, truly speaking, TFF was like in the top 5, because like
he's just saying it.
No, I'm being for real, because no, I don't know. I'm being for real, bro, because I remember even when I started speaking to it, I don't know if it was because of the way you are marketing it, or because like all influencers were like pushing it. I'd literally see the content from TFF every single day, and even those emojis, man, like those smaller emojis, those guys that are like. It just stood out, man. It stood out, and the way that you came with it, like, there was just so many giveaways, there's so many this going on and stuff, and it was still at the, mind you, with TFF, it was still at the beginning of prop firms. I know that like in the past 2 years, there've been over thousands of prop firms that have opened, but at that time of like TFF, it was not that much like prop firms. It was not like too many prop firms, just like how now everyone is opening prop firms. So can you please just walk us through that whole model in terms of what it took from you going from like I'm a trader that's obviously now you in the markets, you're learning, documenting down your trades, plus as well you're doing the signal services, plus as well there's affiliate CPA deals and stuff, and now having to change, going from all that to, you did mention diving into becoming an influencer, making content and stuff, and then now going into being a business owner in terms of being able to actually own, like, I'm a prop firm.
Yeah, sure. So like this is where it started. When I got FTMO funded, right? I had 400k. I got 200k funded accounts, merged them. I looked on the server name and it said demo. It was from that point I was like, are you joking me? Are you actually joking me? I've just worked for months on months on months. I've lost thousands for it to say demo. And now if you go on the website and when you buy a challenge, it does actually say demo funding. But back then they used to say it's live funding. And it would, that is, after that, right, this is what happened. I looked at Mamba FX. I was like, right, Nash Markets, they were called. And funny enough, Funder Pro, Gary is the CEO. He was working with Nash Markets, now owns Funder Pro, right? He's called Gary something. Anyway, so I contacted him, was like, mate, I want to get involved. And back then, you didn't even need money to start. They would provide the tech, the broker, and they would take like 20-40% of your money, your returns. So it was easy to get set up. And then once we set up, it was basically about how can you market it. And this is where like I used my previous business stuff with the giveaways from the Fortnite days into the prop firm Forex side of things. So like Happy FX, Forex Funny, yourself, there was so many people. And what we'd do is we'll go onto Instagram. We would just be liking their posts, commenting on their posts. We'll be messaging them. And when I mean this, it's 7 days a week, full time. And I would use other influencers as fuel. I'll be like, no, I didn't like my living situation, didn't like where I was. I was like, I'm getting out of it. And this is how I'm going to do it. It's going to be through this company, through his business. I'm going to work every single day, making sure that we're commenting on people's posts, posting every single day, hired people to then live stream on YouTube every single day, multiple times a day. So we were utilizing all different aspects of social media. And obviously at the start, it was difficult. There wasn't automated KYC. There wasn't automated, breaching with the DD. You've got to have reliable sources like staff wise, because I've personally had it where a staff member would be giving away challenge accounts to give to like influencers, but these influencer accounts are his alt accounts, and then he would speak to a staff member in the back end. They would work a little deal out, so then they're passing through the accounts, and then my payment team would pay. But the staff you're trusting, and this happened, and like this is why I just couldn't be bothered no more with like growing another prop firm after I lost TFF by the scam. But yeah, it's just growing it was exciting, because every single day I've even got a photo, and maybe I'll send it to you, right? Because you can put it on the screen. But I had a whiteboard I had an office in my garden, right? A little shed. And we had a whiteboard, and every single day I'd write down how much we made. And within January 2024 it was, so it wasn't even that long ago. Maybe it was 2023, I can't remember. But we made $100,000 in a month, or £100,000 in a month. That was like our first big month where like we've gone, and it just boomed, it just rocketed. We went from 100k to millions. I didn't take it seriously. So like before TFF I took seriously, I was just advertising it through my Signal page, so I wasn't actually like running a company how a company should be run in terms of like personable appearance and constantly posting on your stories, building that engagement and that community. Before I would just leave, I wouldn't even have a social page, and I would just plaster it, So then obviously when I was like, right, I need to level up, because I believed I could take the prop firm industry to another level. I just believed I could. And to be fair, now looking back on it, people are live streaming on their prop firm accounts. People are running giveaways after giveaways on their live streaming accounts. And everything stems from basically what I started. And it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I just took it seriously. And I'm not even kidding you, bro. Within 6 months, we grew to like millions of gross. Like within 6 months, because people weren't doing it. So it's like right place, right time. So when you have all the influencers and you're paying them out, and you've got, that you're giving them challenge accounts after challenge accounts for no money, they're passing it. You're making sure they get a payout because you want to do an interview. And nowadays you see it too, where, you know, they'll give you challenge accounts. They'll make sure you get a payout. They'll pay you to do the payout interviews now. And 9 times out of 10 nowadays, you can't even trust it. But back then, we were obviously paying out these influencers, and it just kickstarted everything. As like, you know, FTMO weren't doing giveaways, and it's like, how can I make money? And I spent zero on ads, right? Yes, I was paying for marketers like FX influencers, but I didn't advertise on SEO. I wasn't paying for Instagram ads. So it's all 100% profit unless like you get payouts, basically, right? And obviously the fees. So I just invested, which is why it's annoying. Every penny that we was making, I was just investing back in, because back then I didn't have a lavish lifestyle. You know, I was paying a £1,500 rent. I didn't have a Lambo, Ferraris. I didn't have outgoings. I was a young 23-year-old, 24-year-old guy who just put all the money back into the company every single month, which is why we kept scaling, because everything was going back in and I wasn't taken out of it. And it was going smoothly, everything like that. And obviously when MetaTrader basically in 2024 February, they closed down all of the brokers licensing MetaTrader to the prop firms, and they got rid of the USA clients. That was just like, we went from millions to 6 figures, like 250k a month, which is an impact and does impact the overall, but the scale that TFF was even at that time and the money that we had in the bank, it wasn't too much of an issue, because it's very rare, and you can go on FTMO leaderboards, right? It's very rare you see people making over 20,000 with accounts. They're either making 2k, 5k, 10k, 15 or 20. Even if you go on FTMO leaderboards now and you know how big FTMO are, you will only see one guy making 70k, one guy on 50k, one guy 40s, 30s, and then the rest are 20s. So like the payouts aren't even much of a hassle when you get to that point, because the money that you're making through the challenges are just much greater than the payouts actually are. So it's easy to maintain. But when you have, you know, 15,000 trader clients all bought challenges, right, back in December, let's say October, November, and then that February hits where, you know, start of March, your sales are now dropped by 75%. You've still got all of these funded traders, and you've not got the gross money to continue to be sustainable, let's say, because you've lost 75% of your sales, and they're still trading. So you still got all the clients, but you've not got the income. And that's why you saw a lot of companies fold, obviously, because of that. And if I look at hindsight now, what like my Forex fund's done, like, you know, they won their court case. Why are they not back live? Because they know it's not, they know there's no point. And in business as well, and this is what I've learned, because True Forex Fund's done this, they got like a deceased letter, and they just stopped, or something happened, they just stopped. They just completely stopped, and they've gone off the market. And the reason why is because you saw like talent funding or there's loads of them, so many prop firms, but you see them trying to stabilize, trying to, you know, get over the rough patch. But in the end, all of those people would have spent every bit of money and also their own income, and they would have lost everything. Because when something like that happens with a business, it's like you need to know when to just to cut it too. Yeah. You need to know when to, as a business aspect as well, you need to know. Otherwise, you're just living in a downward spiral. It's a bit like running a football team when it gets relegated. You can't cash flow wise maintain where you were, because you're not where you were anymore. As all of the, like, you're not in the Premier League, you're in the division below. The you know, the income's dropped, and with TFF it went from millions to, you know, 250k, like 250,000, and it was sustainable. And I just wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to sell it, because I also know, due to the Fortnite stuff, everything comes to an end. And I was like, right, it's run its course. Like, I was burnt out. I've been doing it for like 3-4 years at this point. I've worked every single day. I've had to manage all my staff, manage the whole team. And I was just like, bro, if I could just sell this, buy these houses, you know, and then I can move on to my next adventure, like the live broker or something like that. And unfortunately, the technology company Xera, the owner called Nigel, even if that's his name, who knows, and he still functions to this day. he told me to sell to these MT5 offshore broker company. Now I know about the offshore broker setup, only cost about 10K, right? And then like to set up monthly and then to buy the business, like set up the business stuff, it's like 10K. So they were buying the prop firm with an unlegit company anyway. And he was like, yeah, they're good for their money, everything like that. Because TFF, we ended up running with Xera. So I trusted him. And he was like, bro, just heard the deal's been done. Congratulations. Weeks went on, months went on, never received the money. Then they go live with Xera with TFF. And it's these two other guys that, you know, had their MetaTrader 5 license got taken away too. So they had nothing. I don't even know what was going on in my world. I just got desperate, impatient. You know, you have to learn from your losses. And this is definitely my biggest loss in my life. And I deserved it. But, you know, it is what it is. So they took it. They kept the sales running. Didn't migrate people. They then slandered my name saying this has gone bad, we're going to try and make a change. They didn't end up making any changes. They didn't even go live. They were just taking payments for like 2 months. I somehow managed to get my ownership back from the URL from GoDaddy by showing like my ID. I said it got stolen because it did. And then they gave me it. And then they messaged me. And this is the most effed up thing about this. Tried not to swear in this interview. Is that they messaged me saying, if you apologize publicly, because I went public about it, right? I was like, right, enough's enough. It's been about 6 to 8 weeks. I've not got the money. They're pulling my leg. They're not going to pay it. They don't have it. If they had it, they would have grown a prop firm bigger than my prop firm. If they had the money, they would have their own live broker running better than I can do. Like if these guys had the money, they would have their own technology. They would have their own infrastructure. I've not met anyone but these two guys and a fake lawyer from Fiverr. That was all it was. And it was a complete scandal. And I've actually lost train of thought what I was just saying. But they took it, managed to get the URL back. But they said about the apology. And obviously, I'm not going to apologize for what? Like you took everything from me. Like you've literally slandered my name online on the Discord, which was just, it was watching it, and I've transferred them ownership. And obviously, the industry, you know, they're like, wait, he's gone now. You know, TJ's gone now. We're gonna get better stuff, and they're promising all these things to hate me. They never promised it, and obviously, you know. They're no more to be seen, no more. And I will press charges with these people because, like, what they did it's illegal. Like, what they've done is illegal. And obviously, the asset that TFF was, and I should have sold it to your prop firm because they wanted to buy it, and I should have sold it to them. I just wanted to give TFF a better level up. That's honestly, I sold it because I was burnt out, but also I wanted someone to have like their own technology. A big broker firm, which I thought they were. So they had big infrastructure. They had money back on them too. So whatever happens, they're covered. And I just wanted to make it go. I wanted it to fly where, you know, you sell a business and it just flies because someone's better than you. I was new to business anyway. I was a young guy trying to make something happen, learning on the job. As you do, you know, you have PSPs that take your money. You have banks closing down. I was doing everything. I was going to Dubai, setting up there. I was trying my best, mate, honestly. And it's just, looking back on it now, I wish I never sold it. I panic sold it because it did like 180,000 in its last month before I sold it.
You're like, no,
I just wanted to get out, but 180,000 is still good, you know. We only was getting about 50K worth of payouts a month at that point. So it was like, it wasn't even like, you know, we had the money. It was like, bro, and that was my everything too. So I lost I fell on my ass because of that. Because, like, I thought they were going to send me money too. So I had to sell my cars, which I don't care about. Obviously, it is what it is. But I sold my house. And just everything you work for got taken. And money aside, it's like, to know that it would probably even still be running to this day. If this didn't happen, we would have our own technology at this point as well. Because if you, like, people watching don't know, but like these technology companies, they will blackmail you. They'll pause your technology, say like, oh, you've had more customers. You need to pay us an extra 10K. Otherwise, we're cutting you off. Like, CEOs can confirm this if they even watch this video. They've had it with that Xera. I had it with Justin from a different thing, different industry, different tech company, but it is what it is in the end of the day. Like, you live and you learn, and that was one of my biggest losses ever. And it took me about 10 months to even come back from that. In terms of mentally, I was drinking, doing all sorts of stuff. I didn't go gym for 6 months. I lost all ambition, motivation. I lost the desire, the hunger. But I've got a family to feed. I've got animals. I can't just drop off. So, after I lost pretty much everything, I had to then come back, and reset and do what I'm doing now, basically, and like making the FTMO payouts and then rebuild from here.
You've been at peak and you've been at the bottom of it all, because people just get to see the beautiful thing, like, oh, what, like $1 million, like in terms of like revenue, gross sales in a single month. They look at that, but they don't also get to see that no, there's times whereby you go through certain things that not even they can like be able to sit in your shoes or stand in your shoes and go through that. Like, there's days whereby maybe you can't even sleep because you're thinking, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're doing all these things just so you calm yourself from all that pressure. Can you please I've been through that, man. Like, I've been through a position whereby I was shaking.
Mate,
and I
mean, bro, it's relatable. I don't care who you are. Like, it doesn't matter if someone is successful, someone's not, mate. We all got our own demons, our own bad habits. We've all got our vices. It's about growing up and learning about your strengths, your weaknesses, and like what's actually going on in your life. Like, everyone is gonna fail. But watch me fail. And this is like the same motivation to the people that took everything from me.
Yeah.
You can laugh at me, you can watch me fall, watch me fail, but I ain't gonna give up, and I'm gonna come back like a bloody Jack Russell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Powerful. That is powerful, man. That is actually that's actually how it should be. Like, in fact, I like the saying that when you fall, make sure that you fall on your back, because if you can look up, then you can get up. Is it? Can you please just walk us through in terms of like team wise? Because I understand that with business, obviously you're still a minor. You're still new in the business world. You didn't really know what you were really doing, but the fact that you're able to grow to like over $1 million in gross, it means that there was something right that you're doing, even though you're not noticing. But in terms of team wise, like what was like the structure? Like, did you have like maybe a marketing person? You had like,
Mate, I was the marketing person, but obviously, you have people working for you, like support people, support agents. My biggest lesson that I've learned now is that, these people that I'm trusting to speak to customers they probably weren't speaking to customers properly in the correct form, the correct manner. They didn't have that. As is your business, you have a certain, you have a sort of like a expectation of how it should be run, managed, and how people should conduct themselves as staff. And like, I would get complaints like, oh, this guy spoke to me rudely. And this guy was from across the world, he was from Pakistan, like some of these people, because it was cheaper to have those people than it does a British person who's on, sorry for swearing, but like 3K a month, right? And when you're a startup company, they're on a different time zone too, so they can do the night shifts. And then like I was personally doing the live support at the start. I was doing it all, like live support, posting, everything. I was the guy, bro. I was the guy. But like, you gotta put it in. I was doing everything, bro. The support inside of things, the checking accounts. And then like, I had friends who were traders from the UK who then would check the accounts. I would get people, and then I started to hire some British people too. And what I've learned is just that, don't go cheap is what I've learned in business. And also like going cheap in business for your staff does not benefit you in the long run, because you need people you can rely on, people that have the same vision, the same goals. And they will lie to you too. I used to have staff from Pakistan. They would be like, my birds died, my cats died, I need money. And like, they ended up scamming me. God knows how much money, but that's because they don't have the same morals as like maybe you would have, or like, you know what I mean? It's terrible. It is terrible. I can't lie. But yeah, I was basically doing it all. The marketing thing's easy for me, if I'm honest with you. It's just like, how can you, and I think it's easier with a company than it is as an individual. For some reason, I struggle to, pull views now as an individual, where like with a company that I feel like engagement just pulls to it. Like if you make it respectable, like, and you do more and better than other brands, then it just blows up. Like But with a personal brand, it's like I'm watching these fake gurus who are just like trading their own broker, not even showing payouts. And it's like I'm literally got 21,000 payout from FTMO last week. Yet the video is on 200 views. It's like what else, what more do you want me to do? Do you know what I mean? Like I just don't get it, bro.
That's true, man. The most of the thing, because I remember with me as well, I was actually on my FF, my Forex funds before they shut down. I was actually on a funded account. Plus as well, I was on TFF, and I was like I hit like on the leaderboard, I hit like number 1 and stuff. But like even that video on YouTube, man, people don't really care about it. Like people care more about like, like that unrealistic type of like results or something more like that. They care more about that compared to like the actual thing. Like if you are able to get a payout, not everyone gets a payout, man. So people instead would rather look at something else compared to that. But I understand that we are not all on the same, we don't see things the same way, and people think like in their own different ways.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, it's actually mental, mate. And it's like, even like FX Alex, he does like that series like 1K to 100K. Like, bro, people are just so stupid. Like, you realize the server account that he's using is like delayed. So the market's already moved. Yet he knows it's already gone 100 pips sell. So when it hits the entry point 4 hours later on his trading account, he then enters the sell on his trading account, and then obviously he knows it's going 100 pips because it's already happened. But they don't clock it. So then he's like doesn't ever lose. He flips the 1K to 100K, and everyone's like, "Oh my god! Like I can't believe he's a genius! Like how is he doing this?" And it's like, bro, he's doing it on his own broker, and he's manipulating the whole thing for you. And it's just like, you only see it once you know it. And that's the difference, But fair play to him as well. He's a great marketer. Like, crashes a Bugatti for engagement to go on Matt Armstrong's YouTube channel. Another great thing. Hooks up with Steve Will Do It. Great thing. Meets the UFC guy who's like one of the best like UFC guys. But marketing wise, the guy's a genius. The guy is a genius, mate.
What is it? They at the Super Bowl when he ran in the
Yeah, ran the Super Bowl, did the set and forget thing. Like, mate, you can't knock him too. Like, you cannot knock a try. I love it. I love it. I don't have any hate against him. But obviously, like it's just crazy how people don't see through that too. So I might just get my top off and run on the pitch and just start copying everything that he does. Maybe that will work.
And man, can you please just walk us through, like in terms of, it was tough, like you were trying to get things up and running and stuff, and now here you are, you've clocked over like 1 million in terms of gross in a single month. Like just for someone, because man, most people don't even get to see that in their lifetime. Like the honest truth is that most people don't even get to see $1 million in their whole lifetime. But you were able to see that, let's say in terms of in a month's time frame. What was your mindset like during that time? And like how, because I feel like someone, if they get $1 million right now, they'll go all out and they'll go crazy and they'll even die because of too much. There's too much.
Yeah, 100%. Bro, I was on a mission, mate. I was waking up early. When I woke up, I was like 1,000%. Like I wanted to be alive. That's the difference. When you're bad, when you're down bad and you're having bad weeks, bad months, you're like, oh, I'm not going to get up. I'm going to smoke this. I'm going to lay in. I'm not motivated. I'm going to eat badly. But back then I was waking up 4 a.m. I'll be like, I'm up now. This is me. I'm working. I was on a mission, bro. If I could just even see, I've got videos obviously like back on like the other channels, but if I could just see that Tommy, like I'm good now, don't get me wrong, but like it was just a different drive because I wanted to get out also where I was living, the environment. I wanted to make it, and I was like, this is how I'm gonna make it. And I can't even like explain, bro. It's like a different drive. Like I was smashing the gym, smashing morning runs, my health was good. And this is another thing, like if you sacrifice your health sometimes by celebrating your wins too. But I didn't even care. Like I was numb. The money's numb. Like doesn't exist. Like when I was making the money too, it was numb. Like in the end of the day, it wasn't my money, it's company money. So it didn't really like matter to me. I just knew even when I was making the 100K months, when I hit that, I was like, right, now it's time to go up another notch. It's like there's no room to rest. It's like this is now or never. Otherwise, I'm gonna blow out and miss out on this opportunity. But it's just a different drive, and it's like always the same thing. Like when you need it And when you're living comfortably, it's fine. And comfortability is the worst thing. It's the saying about waking up in silk sheets. Let's see how you wake up then. Like basically, like when you get a nice bed and like you want to lay in and like life's comfortable. You wake up, you know you've already made like a couple grand or whatever. It's like that's easy. But that's why, like, as an individual, I know, like, if shit hits the fan, I know what I am, I know what I'm about, and I need to experience the bad times. Like, it's God's way of showing me, closing a door and open up another one, and teaching me lessons from the choices I've made, which have gone poorly, bad decision making, which have now affected the outcome of my, my future, which need to be changed. And it's like you either learn or you stay the same. And I'm always about trying to improve and learn, man. And obviously I still make loads of mistakes, I still try my best, but it's a process. It's not overnight success.
It is. That's true, man. I like that. The fact that you've been saying it's a process, not an overnight. And the way that you're putting in the work, because most people, they just think that you're sitting at some beach, probably like, just maybe smoking shisha and doing nothing. And
yeah, nice time. The time to be alive, mate. Jesus, I miss those days, mate. I miss those days. Now I've got a gold hat on and I'm smoking this.
They don't really see the work being put in, like, waking up at 4 a.m., going all in throughout the whole day, taking losses, taking wins, and still stacking up throughout that. That's actually what separates, the normal, the average people compared to, the high elite, the successful ones, because every day they have something that they're working towards and they're always constantly pushing through. So one thing that I just want to know is, how do you further your knowledge? How do you further your wisdom? Your like, do you have advisors close by? Do you read books? Do you watch videos? How do you become better as a person? I know already you hit the gym because I saw you're building a gym there by your place.
Yeah. I've got my own gym because health is wealth, man. So like with TFF, I was like, if everything fails, at least I've got my own gym to get back on track. And that's something that I advise everyone. Like if you start making money or whatever, like you need to invest into, like, forget the watch, forget the car, because you're going to lose money when you resell it anyway. Like invest in your health, invest in your setup, your PC, your microphones, your phone. You get this, get that, it's like invest in your editors, make sure they're good because your content's going to improve your engagement. That's going to bring you in income because engagement's money. But yeah, not books, mate, because as I said, like I'm not very academically smart, so I couldn't think of anything worse than reading a book. But in terms of like watching reels and just like my own self, like evaluation on who I want to become and like what I see fit and who I should be, the person I need to be in order to be better, like you've got to be your biggest critic. Like if that's me, even when I go out drinking, and I dabble with and I do this and I do that, it's like next day I wake up and I feel like an absolute failure because not only do I, I've missed a whole evening of work or to better myself, I also feel like crap the next day. And then like for a week, it has this linger on you where it's like, mentally it's sucking your like power out of you because it's like your drive, your motivation, and you're depleting yourself. And that's why it's best to stay sober too, not focus on not try and get into too much like smoking or the drinking side of things. And yeah, don't lose your success to the cheers. Like understand you can celebrate wins, of course, but just do it in a different way. Like go play tennis or something,
Can you please just walk us through now, like what's actually going on now? What are you currently busy with? What are you working on? Plus as well, what's coming next from Tommy? What can people expect from you? Because I believe that got a taste of success. You now have much more bigger aspirations, much more bigger dreams, and maybe now you're a bit more liquid to be able to fund those dreams and stuff. But what are you working on and what's coming next type thing?
What's coming? I mean, I don't even know what's around the corner, mate, if I'm honest with you. So to give you that, I couldn't tell you what's coming, but hopefully a lot of more good times and bad times, a lot more good trades and bad trades, and just, to keep improving and keep trying to find more motivation. I would say, like, I think it gets harder when you get older or like you go through bad times and experience to like pick yourself back up. So hopefully, within the coming months to years that I just feel and get way better just as an individual. And hopefully God blesses me with more good things to come. But if he wants to throw the bad things at me too, then as I said, when I was losing the business, keep them coming. Keep it coming.
Yeah. And you obviously you've gained a lot of material success in the process. I know you've got what is it? It's a Roma, the Ferrari Roma.
Yeah, it's a per sangue, so a £480,000 car, $500,000.
$500,000.
Yeah, pound car.
Yeah,
Not even dollars, pounds. So it's about $750.
$750,000 on the web. In fact, when you convert that to rands, that is like a good 13 million, 13, 14 million rands.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, like even with $1 million a month, like that's like a good 19 million. And if you see what that gets you this age, yeah.
But I have like security guards and stuff.
You need security. You
need security. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go lock my door quick.
It gets a bit more tough because a lot of people, like even the stats, the numbers, a lot of people are unemployed, they're hungry, they're starving. So crime rate as well is up. And like for people like us sometimes, because where we come from, it's like a neighborhood. So sometimes you want to go back there to go check up on your friends or things like that, and just that on its own, it shows you the difference between like you and where you come from, because they look at you different, they want to take from you, and things happen. So it's a bit tough. It's not easy, but oh man, that's a lot. In terms of like the material success that you've been able to gain, I heard as well that you've got animals.
Yeah, mate, I've got 1 dog, 3 cats, and I've just bought another cat, man. I love animals, bro. Like, what else am I gonna do whilst I work and trade from home? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I spend all my time at home, so it's like I might as well just fill the farm up.
Are you in the city or are you outside the cities?
I live opposite a woods, so I'm just in like a house with I'm just recently moved from like a farmhouse to like a brand new building house sort of thing. Just so it's nicer inside, and like I live opposite like 1,000+ acre woods, which is pretty sick because it's like just on my back garden, so I can just go do like, I don't know, wood stuff with that. But yeah, no, it's good, to be fair. Like, mate, you need to change your environment, like where I used to live, I was drinking, seeing people all the time, and I just was getting up to bad stuff that wasn't, making my life go upwards. And you get into the routine of doing the same shit every week with the same people, and it's not even about the people, it's just the person that I was becoming. I wanted to be more focused with business. I didn't like where I was living, like the area itself. So like I changed the whole area too, to somewhere where I've never lived before and not familiar with. And it just wanted to change, I wanted to change everything. So it's like kind of like a new slate, should we say,
Yeah, I like that, man. I feel like that's also the same thing that I went through the previous year. I just wanted to change in scene, change in scenarios and stuff. So I just had to move from there. You've never considered moving to Dubai? Because I know a lot of people that starts to make online money, they want to see themselves in Dubai and so on. And I remember you were there, when was it, last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah. I've got a business set up over there, but obviously I've got a Rottweiler and they're banned, so they can't live in Dubai. So yeah, that kind of messed up everything. So yeah, I have to go there once every 6 months, but I can't take the dog and stuff. Otherwise, I would not be in the UK. That's for sure. I would be living in Dubai right now. It's just way nicer. Security's safe there. People are nicer. Nice weather too. So it's just way better. But it's not what everyone says, It's just like there's nice places, and you don't even need to have money to be there. I can't lie. It's like everything in life. Like the more money you have, the better experience it's going to be. That's just the difference,
These days, I think maybe you should change your pet and like have a falcon, because then in Dubai there's like falcons for like $20,000.
Be a bad person for me just to get rid of it, because I'm want to go live in Dubai or struggling to do it. It's like, again, it's like that self drive. Like you need to be able to be a big enough man to look after this, or like, even if you're struggling, like just keep powering through. Like it is what it is.
This is like, someone is watching this video right now, brother, and they are like, okay, I hear, man, it's not easy, but there's challenges, there's ups, there's downs and stuff. What would you say to a person that would like to just change the environment and like become in a better position? Because this is like, we are now wrapping up, and this is like you basically leaving words to that one person that's either going through a tough time, or maybe they are just like, looking at us speaking about these big numbers and they're like, that's impossible for me. But what would you say to that person?
Things aren't going to change in your life unless you actually change. So you could move your environment, you could change your friends, you can do whatever you want to do, right, in your life. You can change your misses. But the fact is, if you're a cheat, you're a cheat. You need to change and not be a cheat. If you change your friends, but you like drugs, let's say, then you are the problem. You are the drug addict. It's not your friends that are the problem. You are. Do you get what I mean? Same with like everything in life. Like you need to look at yourself and stop going, right, if I stop doing this and I change this up, everything's going to be better. No, it's not. It's the same with trading too, with like the emotional side of things, psychology side of things. Until you actually improve and change and start withdrawing from the markets, like it isn't going to come to you. You've got to come to it. So the biggest advice is just be like, you have to self-analyze and you've got to make the change. It's like everything in life. If you want to cut weight, you're going to cut weight. If you want to, if you're sick of living the life you're living, then do something about it. It's not going to come to you. No one is here to save you. No one's coming to help you. The fact of the matter is, everyone that you see is putting in work. They are the chapter. They are the story of their own chapter in this life. So don't look at your friends for help, because they don't care about, when they go home, they're thinking about themselves, not you. Your parents don't care because they're your parents. They care about themselves too. They might, you might be a child for them and whatever. But the fact of the matter is, they've got their own stuff going on too. So don't look at other people trying to get a handout, when reality is that the only person that can save you is yourself. That's what I'll say.
That's powerful, man. Yeah, just if you want all the answers, go to the mirror. Go to the mirror. You will get all the answers that you need. Yeah, that's actually very, very powerful, man. And I'm excited. I'm glad. I'm happy that you did do this. And I want us to just play around with numbers. Like if this video gets maybe how many views or how many likes, are you gonna come back and then be able to maybe give a trade analysis of gold, showing us what you look into and all that?
Yeah. Mate, I could come to your house, mate, and I could trade for a whole week. So it's security by the sound of things, but
No, we'll get the best security for you, man. We'll get one of the best securities for you. Yeah.
I'm gonna need it, mate. I'm gonna need it. No. Like, for real. Like, I'm happy to do whatever. I mean, it doesn't even need to get views. Like, I don't even need to get amount of likes. But boys, if you are watching, support up the interview podcast. So you don't have to check me out, but just support him out. People enjoy it. I mean, in the end of the day, it is what it is. If they don't, it's just this has just been good to chat to you anyway, and it's been coming for a while, and hopefully many more times with me and yourself as well. So builds a relationship, and I've had a good time. I've enjoyed it.
Same here, bro. And someone here as well managed to they like what you said. They connected to you, and they're like, yo, this guy's the one. In fact, I wanna follow him and religiously just look into whatever that he's doing. Where exactly can they connect with you?
I mean, just search up TJ Goes Global on Instagram. I mean, I try and make funny reels, but they're not funny. I try and show trading stuff, but I can't trade. So apparently, to all of the people that lose using my signals. So and just trying to find my own piece of the pie, boys. But yeah, just check me out. I mean, I'm on YouTube, TJ Trades or TJ Goes Global. You can check me out there, and if you want to watch my lifestyle or try and learn how I trade gold, then feel free, check me out. Trading's just fun in all areas, and it's game changing if you can actually become profitable, and just the whole industry in general. There's so many ways to make money too in business wise. So it's just a no-brainer to continue in this path that I'm on, and I really enjoy it. There's nights where I don't even sleep. That's what I mean. Like, people don't realize what it takes. It takes so much. Like, I'm sacrificing all my sleep time. I'm in and out of sleep, watching my trades. Like, that's not because I don't care. That's because I do care. That's because I want to succeed. That's how bad I want it. There'd be days where I do not sleep, and that's because I'm just putting everything I can into it and hoping that it pays off.
Most definitely. No, it has to, man. Whatever that you put in, the results are gonna be in direct proportion to the effort that's being given.
But since sitting here, bro, in this interview, I've made 4,000 on my live account, and I deposited 4,000, made 4,000. So whilst I just done this, I've made $4,000. Thank you very much.
Man, I thank you so much for pulling through here and being able to just share, your story, sharing, your ups and downs, what you've been through, how you got into trading, business world, and so on. I believe this interview, it's gonna change someone's life. Most definitely it will, because I can see with me as well, I've got so much value, and I believe someone else out there is gonna be able to get value. I thank you so much,
100.
brother, for showing up, man.
Sure. Thank you, boss. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed every single minute of it, and I'll catch you boys soon. Peace.
Most definitely, guys witnessed it. I was able to speak with my brother here, TJ, and it was just informational. Like everything that was said here is like super powerful, and truly speaking, even for me, you could see I was taking down notes. And as well, I'm gonna rewatch this interview, not because I'm trying to see what the edit is like, but because I want to learn as much as possible. This is that video that I believe I'm gonna watch over 5 times just this year, so I can take home value. But yeah, man, I'm glad that you did watch. Thank you so much for watching up until this end. Make sure that you like, subscribe, do all those things, comment, tell me what you liked more about this, and then I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers, guys.